Welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at the relationship between you and your partner, or the person that's on your mind if you're not in a committed relationship. So if you're listening today, this message focuses on a connection that feels powerful but complicated, one that brings both closeness and confusion. So before I pulled the tarot, I started with the astro dice, and I got the combination of Taurus, Mars, and the fifth house. So this combination immediately sets the tone for me. Taurus represents stability, comfort, and loyalty. Could also mean a stubborn person. But Mars brings passion, movement, and drive. And the fifth house highlights creativity, pleasure, romance, self-expression. So this reading revolves around how passion and grounded love interact, how both people handling the intensity of the desire and the need for some emotional security between the two of you. So, all right, this is a general reading, so it might not be your story. I'm not here to promise you instant riches or predict that you're going to meet your soulmate at the coffee shop next Tuesday. Tarot is a roadmap, a snapshot in time showing potential outcome based on your current actions. Remember, you have free will. You create your future. I'm not going to tell you to sit back and wait for divine timing to sort your shit out for you. If you make shit choices, you will have shit outcomes. We're here to get real and look at ourselves in the mirror to help us reach your highest good. I'm not here to fix the idiots around you or tell you how to lower your standards to meet them at their level. So buckle up. This could get messy. So I'm going to start off with your feelings, okay? And with that, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, that tells me you're steady, you're nurturing, you're dependable, and emotionally grounded. You don't need just a spark. You need something more sustainable, something more long-term. So let's clarify your energy here, your feelings towards the connection. Okay, and we have the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So that tells me that your feelings towards the connection, you feel deeply, you offered care and emotional openness, but now you're reaching a place of mental clarity. The Ace of Swords cuts through the fog. You're beginning to see what actually is happening versus what you might hoped for in the beginning. There's still warmth here, but it's now like balance and self-awareness and discernment here. So very interesting. Let's take a look at your partner's energy. In your partner's energy, we have the Two of Swords, okay? So this is like a crossroad, a fork in the road, decisive, having to make a decision here. And so let's grab a couple of cards here to see kind of what's underlying on this. Okay, and so with your partner, we have the Ten of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. Okay, so that adds a new layer. So that tells me they feel an emotional bond and may idolize the connection, possibly seeing you as someone who fits into their vision of emotional happiness. Like you might be their wish fulfillment, this connection. The Six of Cups brings nostalgia or a sense of familiarity in this. You could bring comfort to them, possibly. This could even be a relationship that feels like home in some way to this person, to your partner. They want harmony and partnership, but the question is whether they can maintain consistent effort. So maybe they have some things that they need to leave behind, some chains they need to break, whatever that is that they may be, leaving behind a lifestyle possibly to full focus on this relationship. But that Three of Pentacles suggests collaboration in theory, but the follow through might not always match their intentions. All right, so let's keep moving. I want to take a look and see what your differences are. And in your differences, we have the Moon, okay, which represents uncertainty, emotional fog, misunderstanding. So let's see, what is the emotional fog and misunderstandings between the two of you here? Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords. We have the Six of Swords, we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Four of Cups here to clarify this Moon. Okay, so it's clear that their confusion runs deep here. They tend to move quickly towards resolution one moment and then they retreat the next, like in and out, hot and cold. They may try to distance themselves to regain perspective, but that pause often leads to emotional disconnect between the two of you. The Hangman shows indecision, and the Four of Cups reflects emotional stagnation or detachment. So They may come, they may feel like they pull back a little bit when things get serious. This combination describes someone who feels conflicted. They want clarity, but they avoid the discomfort that comes with achieving it. Okay, so let's take a look at your similarities in the connection. So the similarity is the Ace of Cups, which is actually a pretty good sign here. So despite the differences that you both had shared something significant, the Ace of Cups, this shows that at your core, both of you have genuine emotions for one another. There's a connection, there's love there. There's an authentic desire to connect from the heart, and the feelings are real between the two of you. So however, the Ace of Cups also marks the beginning of emotional depth. It's potential, you know, not there's potential here. I'm not saying that it's already here, but there's a potential here. It depends on how you act. Okay. It's a shared spark of love and empathy, but it needs consistent action and honest communication to turn that initial emotion into something long lasting in the connection. Okay. So let's take a look at your emotional compatibility. And it looks like we have the Justice card. So the Justice reflects the possibility of balance and fairness in the connection. Both people have the capacity to understand one another when honesty is prioritized here with the Justice card. But this connection only works when accountability is mutual. Both are willing to meet halfway. They're willing to balance those scales here with the Justice card. Okay, so physically, let's see how compatible you are physically. So we have the Fool card, which brings attraction and curiosity. There's a sense of excitement and playfulness between the two of you, the chemistry that feels fresh and adventurous. So there's some lust here. The only caution here is the stability. The Fool energy can be inconsistent if there isn't a shared direction or commitment behind it. So we're kind of seeing the in and out here. Okay. The undecisiveness, the fork in the road. Okay. So that's following through in the theme of the relationship here. So let's take a look at your mental compatibility. And here we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so mentally, the Nine of Swords shows tension and overthinking. Both people may replay conversations or worry about misunderstandings. It's a strong mental link, but it tends to spiral into anxiety rather than clarity. This could be resolved through direct communication by speaking the truth instead of analyzing silence here. So, what's hidden in the relationship? Let's pull a couple of just oracle cards to get a clear-cut theme here. These might be signs, risks, or opportunities. So, under the hidden, I got masculine energy, anxiety, two-faced, and signs. So there might be signs of this two-faced is kind of two personalities. I take this as the in and out, maybe anxiety, the masculine energy possibly is on your partner's side or whoever the masculine side of the partnership is. But I do see here they're showing signs of anxiety and kind of having two directions here. So the masculine energy and the anxiety could suggest struggles with control, wanting to take the lead, but fearing vulnerability or rejection. The two-face, it doesn't necessarily mean deception. It points to maybe inconsistency, like we've talked about for me, and the split between how someone acts and how they feel. So, say what you mean and mean what you say. And when someone doesn't do that, it can be very frustrating. So there may be moments when this person shows confidence, but is privately uncertain or conflicted here. So signs, risks, and opportunities and safety here suggest that you're noticing clear indicators of where the sign is headed, where this connection is headed. It's time to weigh what feels like a risk versus what provides emotional stability here. So let's pick a couple of cards to get a couple clarifiers on what is the outcome here? What is the likely outcome between the two of you? Just get a couple of cards. And we have the Emperor and the King of Swords for the potential outcome. Okay. So this tells me there's two strong energies. The King of Swords and the Emperor are both very strong energies. This represents a shift from confusion to control, from emotional guessing to logic, clarity. It could indicate one person finally stepping up and making a decision, and taking responsibility, or it may represent you taking command of your boundaries and emotional direction. Either way, this is a move towards order, truth, leadership, and connection. No more uncertainty, no more mixed signals here. And hey, collective, I'd like to see what are your partner's next actions in this connection? What is their next practical move here? Okay, let's see. We've got the Sun card, the Eight of Cups, and the Six of Wands. So the Sun shows openness, visibility, and honesty. The next steps involves bringing things to light here. They're going to start communicating. They're going to be more transparent with you about how they feel and what they want. The Sun is active energy. It doesn't hide, right? It brings things to the light. So in practical terms, this person might open up more, have more communication. If you have little communication now, it might be increased communication, but being more expressive and affectionate and wanting to clear the air with you. With the Eight of Cups, I feel like they are, walking away from what's not serving them and walking towards what it is that they truly want. And I think in this connection, that's going to be you, because I've got the Six of Wands following that Eight of Cups. So, they're making a gesture that restores confidence between the two of you, or publicly or clearly showing that they're proud of this connection, expressing some appreciation or offering validation here. And so what I see them doing is coming towards you being more open, becoming more proactive, and seeking reconciliation here with you, or trying to collaborate, like this Three of Pentacles energy. So that's what I've got for you today, collective. If this resonated with you, please hit the like button, drop it in the comments. I do like to see the feedback here. If you would like a personal reading, if you felt like this was close to your story, but you wanted some more details, feel free to email me. It's in my YouTube channel. But I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next reading.